everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cosmic Chats with our fantastic guest today, AIDAN Park. Say hi, AIDAN.
Woohoo! Hi, hello.
AIDAN has high energy, so this is going to be a fabulous episode. He is a comedian, performed all over, but Hulu, True TV. He is the founder of The Art of Being Yay. He also is the writer of the best-selling book, The Art of Being Yay. So welcome, AIDAN.
Hello, hi, yay.
Yay. All right, let's find out how you would describe the taste of a banana to someone who's never eaten one.
Okay. Sweet. Taste of a banana. Sweet. English is not my first language. I would say mushy, but that's not a taste.
You know, well, how do you think we taste?
I'm sorry?
How do you think you taste? If you just taste by that one particular, again, there's no wrong answer. It's your answer is right.
Okay. How do I think I taste?
Yeah.
With my tongue? What? Like, what do you mean? Like, how do you think I taste? Me?
Okay, first of all, you're not an alien. You may have thought that you were, but you're not an alien. Most people actually talk about that. They smell the banana is part of the experience.
Is that taste? That's not taste, that's smell.
That is smell, but lots of people are including that. So I'm just prying a little bit to find out. And if sweet is your answer, that is your answer.
That's my answer. Sweet.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. Just as it would be if you all would subscribe and like and put in the comments how much you love AIDAN already, because he just shut me down within the first 3 minutes.
You did. I think it's just that we both have such high energy and we're just like, what? So it's what, but like, yeah, I guess, yeah, like and subscribe and comment. And why don't you guys comment what your answer would be for the banana thing?
Yes, we've had quite a few fun ones. Right. Okay, next question. When did you have your first existential life crisis as a child?
I was away on a Baptist church retreat. And I knew I was gay. I was like 9. I knew I was gay. And they said that if you weren't saved, then you would go to hell. And I thought I was saved, but I knew in my heart that I was gay, and I felt like I was not saved. And so I remember I locked myself in the bathroom and I just cried. And I tried to comfort myself with Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. And I just kept singing that to myself. I don't know why that song, but that's what happened. And so, yeah, that was a very incredibly lonely experience where I just felt like I was condemned and I did not know what to do. I felt trapped, damned if I do, damned if I don't. And yeah, I think that was a major crisis, major moment.
Yes. And so you came out of the bathroom, how?
Well, I actually, like, my grandmother and I were away in this, and then most of the people were away. And most of the other attendees went home. And I was sitting there, and, you can only cry in the bathroom for so long. And so I came out and I started walking around. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah.
So you were thinking to yourself about your conundrum. And then what did you do?
What did I do? There was no resolve there. I just had to sit with it because I wanted to, and praying the gay away does not work because I tried to pray the gay away. I mean, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I'm still on my knees, so it didn't work. Is this a G-rated show?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is it?
Yes, my friend.
Oh no!
There is a way. No, it's been completely fine. Everything you've said is fine.
Yeah.
Thus far.
Okay, thus far. Okay, I'll just keep that in mind. So, it was a major crisis. And I think what happened with me is, that loneliness that I can never tell what I am because I'm utterly broken came with me from 9 to about 15. And then I took a defensive stance of, screw this, I'm not gonna, be like this, and I am who I am, and that's it, that kind of attitude, which is also harmful because you swing completely in the other direction as a reaction to the feeling of loneliness, which can cause a person to be belligerent and reactive. And that's kind of how it's a step up actually from depression. Like it's a better feeling tone, but it's still a dark tone. So I was doing the best that I could. And so it was about slowly, and I faced repercussion as a result of that as well. So I guess my first crisis was, I mean, I don't know. Let me know if I'm being long-winded. You can just,
No, not at all.
Yeah. So I moved here. I moved here with my single mom. She moved to the other side of the country. I got left with grandma. Can't speak English. Can't speak, I'm failing at school. I have no friends. And so I felt like everybody has left me and I'm by myself. And the only thing that I have to lean on is, at that point, Jesus. And even he doesn't love me. Mm-hmm. And if anybody knew the real me, including my grandmother and my mom, they wouldn't love me either. So I felt extremely alone during that time. And for a 9 to 15-year-old, it was devastating. And in that design of the world, you have nowhere to go. There's nowhere for you to run. There's nowhere for you to go. And that feeling was, oh, yeah. What do you do?
And so you are attempting to work through until you have the resolve of, I can't take it anymore. It's going to be expounded. Did you have, I know this is almost going to sound really, it's not at all dismissive, hobbies or activities that you did to help soothe yourself?
Golden Girls. I watched a lot of Golden Girls. Because they had like the motherly energy, and I just remember I would not miss a day because they seemed like they had friends and family, and it was funny, and there was laughs, and I grew up with a lot of women, so I felt comfortable with them, and I would run home and try. Okay, so on Lifetime television for women, there was when around 97, 98, they had 4 to 5 o'clock was Designing Women, which I was mildly interested in. It wasn't as good. Okay. 5 to 6 was the Golden Girls. And then 6 to 7, they had Supermarket Sweep. And so I would watch 3 hours, although Designing Women, I could never really get it. I just never understood it. I was like, I was like, what is this? But the Golden Girls, wouldn't ever miss it. And I was so afraid they were going to pull that from the air. And so I recorded it on VHS when they had the square so that I would never be without my Golden Girls. And that was my comfort. And a horror, and I watched a lot of movies. Horror movies. Because in Korea, my mom owned a video store. And so we watched horror movies together. She thought she was the cool mom by showing me horror movies. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre at 7, I mean, so I was like scared because I thought that's how the world worked. I thought that, you would get murdered if and so there was a lot of fear. Also, she raised me on a lot of movies about like the rapture. I don't know if you know what the rapture is, but it's like where, Jesus Gabriel blows his horn or whatever, and then the people who were saved by Jesus would disappear from the earth. And I remember I asked Grandma, we were on a bus one time, and I was like, Grandma, what if the rapture happens? What if the bus driver is saved and the rest of the people are not saved? What happens to the rest of the people on the bus? And real answer, she said, well, if they're not getting saved, then they're probably going to go to hell anyway. So what's a few years? they're just going to crash and burn. So they may as well just go early. Who cares? And I was like, okay. So that's what I grew up around.
Now let's talk about that answer for you with your state of consciousness, knowing at this point you were still holding it in, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Did that give you some relief?
That I was going to die and burn in hell forever?
Well, it sounds like everyone was going to die. You either disappear and abandon you, or you go through the rapture, and if you are saved, according to the movie, you're going to disappear anyway.
You disappear into heaven, and the rest of us are damned for all eternity in hell, where you will suffer forever.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if you're left behind, you're going to hell, and you will burn for all eternity, forever and ever, and suffer unimaginable torture. That is what I was told.
And the Golden Girls taught you
to thank people for being a friend. It calmed me down and made me feel better about myself. I was like, okay.
Was it B. Arthur's low voice?
There was something about her low. I just feel like she had it together.
And
they were my friends.
So you had found your escape, like a lot of people who feel different, right? And then when did you start getting involved in the arts?
I auditioned for a musical in high school. High school freshman. It was called Where's Charlie? And I was just really, I was not naturally talented. I could not do anything. And then really, it was like,
you were the kid going stage right instead of stage left.
Right. I could not. I mean, it was just oh my God. And so, but I got in, and I was so excited, and I was happy to have found something that made me feel like I was a part of something that gave me a sense of importance in some way. And it's really rescued me. It kind of helped me step into my own. Because before then, I really felt like I had nothing to offer, very little to offer. I wasn't good at anything. I couldn't deal with people. I was broken on the inside. My mom left, no friend. It was just a very difficult situation. My grandmother was away to the casino all the time, which, bless her, she was like 70. She didn't speak English. So what was she going to do? But not the most emotionally intelligent. I didn't know how to manage my own feelings. It was just so hard. And that time of my life was the hardest, I think. Yeah. So, and also as a kid, you have no agency. You just have to do what people tell you. Like, you have no control, really. What do? You know? When
did the bubble burst? What catalyst event happened that you just couldn't take it anymore?
At age 15, I did a musical, and I had a couple of people that I met who were gay, and I was like, you know what? They could be gay. I'm gonna be gay too. F it. So I was like, F this, and Grandma was so gone that she didn't even, like, she was kind of removed. She didn't know what was going on. She kind of stayed out of it, and so I was just, I just went for it. I was like, I'm gay, I don't care. But I wasn't out to my family still. But at school, I was out, and I was bullied a lot. And so I actually have a story. Like, I actually went, and around that time I was watching Comedy Central also. So I was listening to like Margaret Cho and all those like stand-up comedians. And around that time was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna just fucking fire back. And so I started firing back. And it got me to be a better liked person, because what they were picking on me for was not the fact that I was gay. What they were picking on me for was the fact that I was uncomfortable with myself, and that's what they sensed. So as soon as I was like, fuck you, that's what I am, fuck you, when I did that, then I'm sorry, you have to bleep that out. But as soon as I did that, then kids started letting up, and you know, I was more myself. Yeah.
Were they scared of you then?
They were. I had a big personality, and I definitely approached people with the, I don't care what you think. I don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Come at me. Go ahead. It was like that. But it wasn't real. It was just hurt.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Jumping the jump. Let me reject you before I feel rejected.
Totally. Very aggressive. But it worked in my school culture, because our school culture was inner city San Francisco, before it was pretty and before it was, you know, expensive to live in. And so they responded well to it. And I became really a well-liked kid. I won the most popular in my high school poll, and I ended up being a prom queen. They elected me prom queen. And they were like, this guy's funny, let's do prom queen. I was like, all right, great, whatever. So I ended up being well-liked. But by taking the defensive stance better than everybody else who was taking the defensive stance also. But also I felt uncomfortable actually being mean to people. I did. And so I would be tough, but I couldn't really be tough. So I wasn't really belligerent.
Now, with all that you do, giving back and the art of being yay, and if you haven't looked at it, the links are all going to be in the description. Do you work with individuals that you can see that's where they're at to help them move through to the other side?
Yes. Yeah. It's really interesting because I fell into empowerment when I was 19 years old, after that all didn't work. And so I started studying empowerment for, you know, like 15 years. And I started researching emotions when my husband passed away a few years back, because I needed to be happier. So it was no longer about me getting results as far as money or jobs or whatever. I wanted to be happier. And so in order to figure out how to be happy, happiness, joy is an emotional experience. So I started studying, what is joy? Then if you want to study joy, you have to study pain. What is pain? What is sadness? And so you start figuring out how things work, and you start seeing patterns in people in their positions in life. And you're like, huh, interesting. So when people take a certain position in life, you can drill down a bit and see where they're actually coming from. And yeah, it's an interesting journey. And it's about awareness. A lot of people do that and they're not aware. They're just they think it's them. They're like, I don't care. They believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a hurt underneath. And if we can kind of get a scope out so we can get a bigger picture, then it's, you know, it's a way to soften that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Go through what's underneath it, and the let's say sharpness, aggressiveness, right? Because there's so much hurt.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That really transcending that and being able to be in the present moment with who we are in our own skin.
Yeah.
Right. That
we don't want to be as comfortable as possible. And there's an emotional tone, right? Mm-hmm. So failure, depression, good for nothing is the lowest tone. The next tone up is anger. And so if you're in failure, you can't, jumping from affirmations where you jump from, oh, I'm a failure to I'm a winner. Like, no. Then it's like a steps. So anger might be the best feeling tone they have available to them from their perspective. And they just are doing their best, right? So
exactly. So especially in California, here we are with manifesting, and you know, I talk about creative visualization that I've done in the last year, from someone who seemingly could hardly be on a computer, hardly do anything, and then transitioned with the nonprofit and produce 3 plays, 2 live streams, a book, like a YouTube channel, that's a lot for anyone who has full physical capacities, right? Yeah. And what's the difference been has been able to tap into exactly what you articulated, the feeling tone and the vibration, right? Because sitting and saying affirmations are all that is if there's no connection deep in. And that's where the manifesting doesn't work. When people say, oh, it doesn't work right, it doesn't work right. And that's because there's no connectivity to that within, right? Those people who naturally have an ability to make money, like whatever happens, they always seem to make money, right? Like that's part of their path, and they have that vibration with them. A lot of them actually don't even want to keep making money. It bothers them. They're like, oh God, now people want something from me, right? We're all on our own path. So with all that you're doing, what would you want to leave when your body drops to make this planet a better place?
I want people to feel emotionally empowered. That'd be great if I could help some people discover emotional empowerment. The concept that really at the end of the day, what we are going for with all we're reaching for is an emotional result. So you have the power to give yourself that emotional result by acting in this world, but also through managing your thoughts. It's like, I do feel like this. I feel like I am the king of the AIDAN domain, right? And I have citizens in the AIDAN domain. And what are the citizens interested in? Maintaining the status quo, what has always been, even if it doesn't work, right? So if you used to do drugs, then your citizens are used to do drugs. They've adjusted to drug use. If you're moving out of that, your citizens are gonna be uncomfortable. But you as the king have to maintain what is best for your domain. And so really knowing that even if it's uncomfortable, you can direct in the direction of that which you want to create by the power of your thoughts, by the power of your actions, and cultivating that environment around you, just like you've done, right?
So how do you cope when you wake up in the morning and you can feel that cloud coming over you and you know it's a lie, right? So right now you are producing an event that's happening this weekend, and we're going to talk about that. And you wake up and ticket sales aren't where they want them to be, and you can feel the cloud and you know it's a lie, and you know that it's not going to help you to be in that space. What do you do?
You know what I do? Okay, so I love emotional freedom tapping. Do you know what that is? Because I'm all about self-love, and I want to calm down that voice. First of all, I want to address it. I'm not going to fight it with something until it calms down. So emotional freedom tapping is available for everyone to follow on YouTube. Okay, so I'll be like, I'm feeling upset about ticket sales, even though I feel like my ticket sales aren't where they want to be. I choose to love myself anyway. And you tap these meridian points, and it kind of calms you down, and you talk yourself through, so you're not reacting from a fight or flight stance. If you recognize and you wake up and you're in a fight or flight, don't do anything. Calm down the fight or flight. Stop. Don't make any decisions. Don't make any calls. Just calm down. Calm that down, right? I do it through this, but you can meditate by doing visualization exercises. It takes about a minute to build momentum in the direction you want to go. So if you are a good visualizer, you could visualize the desired outcome, like a full house or whatever, right? And ask yourself rando questions like, what does the floor look like in this sold out place? What shoes am I wearing? Like things that you wouldn't necessarily ask yourself. Random questions. What are you wearing? Okay, who's right in front of you? What kind of hair does he or she have? What is on the ceiling? What, and those kinds of things really pull you in that moment, so that feels real to you. Then you get to step out of it with that feeling tone. Now, the challenge there is you don't get to go, but I don't have the ticket, so I'm going right back to where it was. You maintain that and you keep cultivating that and take actions with that. That is what I would do. So
those of you who don't know about tapping, absolutely. If you look on a live stream that we did in November the 8th, it was an awareness live stream after the US election. There is a segment which is on tapping, which is run by an MD who's also a teacher in this meditation practice. And she takes me through a bunch of tapping and back to my childhood saying of, everyone's going to think I'm a fraud. We're never going to get any donations. And she was a little shocked that I was so honest. And let me tell you, by the end of that live stream, we had got $3,000. And we weren't even trying for it to be a fundraiser. So tapping is absolutely medically approved. Go ahead, look at that live stream, and you can actually get a free session. You can do it with me as well. And exactly getting out of that fight or flight mode. And, you know, we have meditation and we want to come bring it to groups of people to do that. Get out of the fight or flight mode upon awakening, because the mind is processed what happened yesterday or is thinking about what's happening ahead. And we cannot have an open consciousness if we are at fight or flight right when we get up. Right. So that's when the creative visualization space works. And you'll also see in the description when I have workshops on creative visualization without all the woo-woo stuff. Right now, just so you also know, Aidan is also saying, even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't mean it hasn't worked, because one comes through and lives in the possibility of it. Right? The possibility of it happening. And that's exactly how this whole Cosmic Chats has come about. Simply live in the possibility and go. I don't know where this is happening, but I'm having a beautiful moment with you. And that then brings me into the moment of how beautiful life can be. Right? And this is part of Aidan's part of being Yay. Is also giving back. And let's talk a little bit while we can. One of the many things you do to the LGBTQ community with comedy, right? So let me hand that over to you for a couple of minutes so you can let people know about it.
Okay, so well, we're putting together. Well, you're going to be walking the red carpet this Saturday.
I gotta do some tapping. Oh, my rolls. I have too many neck rolls. I have too many rolls.
And I choose to love myself anyway.
So if there are a few poses like this, you'll know, or like that, then you'll know. You know what? Put on the tap shoes. Let's tap the red carpet.
Do you know a show called Mac and Mabel?
Yes.
Tap your troubles away. You know that song? You're sued for divorce.
Keep going. Let's tell us about the show that you're doing and where to find out more stuff about Aidan.
It's called Stand Up for Pride. And it's a wonderful, and it's a fundraiser benefit for a wonderful organization called Project Q. And Project Q teaches young LGBT people about empowerment and gives them tools for empowerment, like gives them haircuts and clothing, and really promotes strength in the young people so that they can step out and step into what it is that they want to create, right? So I love them because it's about encouraging agency, encouraging a feeling of agency, because so many young people, they don't teach that in school. So like even the 4.0 students, like they just kind of, they're whatever. So it's about honoring what it is they want to create and stepping into that. And I love that. That is what is most important to me. So we're doing a fundraiser this Saturday at the Comedy Chateau. And guess what? We are sold out. And we are sold out. And so it's very exciting, but we are doing donations via GoFundMe. And so I can give you the link for that. And it's going to be an amazing, and so many brands have stepped up to help us. Nordstrom's is on there. We have, there's a whole bunch, I forget the names, but a beer company, a wine company. We got a company called Blow Paste, which is a special kind of lubricant. You can imagine what it's for. Yeah, so all these amazing people stepping up to stand up for pride.
Would you say part of your yay is giving back?
I would say that. I would say that, but I would say that I don't give back for the yay. I do the yay. I don't give back as a way to cultivate my yay. I do it because I like it, but I don't do it because of it. I'll you know what I mean? Like, it kind of folds in because it's like it's fun for me, but it's not something that I necessarily maybe I shouldn't say this, but I will. I don't recommend, if you're not in a good place, I don't recommend giving as a way to go ahead and get good feeling. I don't know about that. So, but if you're in a good place, then do it because you like it.
So let's talk about a good place. We're going to come back with part 2, which are more rapid fire or random questions with Aidan. And as you can imagine, they're high energy. Please like and subscribe. It's down there. Yeah. Aidan's right below Aidan. Please tell us how much you love him. Oh, lordy, the editing is going to be so long for this thing. And so that's what she said. Okay, and so we'll see you in a bit.
Bye.